Good morning, children. Today, class for the 10th class. Subject is biological science. Children, we successfully completed our first chapter, nutrition, the food supplying system. Today, we shall start our next chapter, respiration, the energy producing system. What? Respiration, the energy producing system. In nutrition chapter, we discuss about the how the living organisms obtained their food materials or their food needs from the environment or other organisms. But you know that, children, we need energy to perform any work. So, in our body, whatever it may be, the food we take, that must be changed into the energy to perform any work. So, respiration process involves utilization of oxygen and breaks down the food molecules in the presence of oxygen and produces energy within our body to perform any work. Actually, the word respiration came from the Latin word respire. Okay, the word respiration came from the Latin word respire. What is the meaning of respire in Latin? To breathe. To breathe. Okay. What is the meaning of this Latin word respire means to breathe. What is respiration process? Means nothing but the whole process in which oxygen is inhaled and utilization of oxygen to produce the energy within our body is called as respiration. To know about the importance of gases during the respiration process, Lavoisier performs a series of experiments. Okay, to know about the gases which involves during the respiration process. In the 18th century, Lavoisier performed a series of experiments. In first series of experiment, Lavoisier burned charcoal. Charcoal means boggu. In the closed bell jar. At the time, he observed that one gas is evolved or liberated. Okay, when Lavoisier burned the charcoal in the closed bell jar, he observed that one gas is liberated. When he passed the gas into lime water, the color of the lime water is changed into milky white. So he called the gas is chalky acid gas. Chalky acid gas. Actually, you know that when the carbon dioxide turns the lime water color into milky white. So at the time, carbon dioxide gas was not discovered. So Lavoisier gave name to this gas as chalky acid gas. Next, he observed that during the combustion of phosphorus in the air, when he burned the phosphorus, he observed that and he gave the important statement that the gas that is essential for the burning of phosphorus is not a water vapor, but the gas that is essential for the burning process and that also essential for the breathing of animals. Nowadays, we know about that the gas that support the burning process is oxygen, and the gas that is essential for the breathing of animals is oxygen. So, we somewhat know about the oxygen gas also. And to recreate the vitiated air. Vitiated air means nothing but the air along with oxygen is called as vitiated air. To recreate vitiated air, it is not only to remove the chalky acid gas, but also we should add the gas that is essential for the breathing process. And during 18th century, the carbon dioxide also called as chalky acid gas and fixed air. What? Fixed air. And children, you know that during breathing process, the two major gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide, plays important role. Means during breathing process, we inhale. Means nothing but we breathe in oxygen and we exhale, breathe out carbon dioxide gas. You know about that one. So now we are discussing about the various steps that are involved in respiration process. What? The various steps that are involved in a respiration process. The first one is breathing. What? breathing. First step is breathing. The second step is gaseous exchange at lungs level. Okay, gaseous exchange at lungs level. The third step is gas transport by the blood. What is the third step? Gas transport by the blood. The fourth step is gaseous exchange at tissue level. What is the fourth step? Gaseous exchange at tissue level. Gaseous exchange at tissue level. Fifth step is cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. Okay. The first step of respiration is breathing. What is the first step of respiration? Breathing. The second step is gaseous exchange at lungs level. The third one is gas transport by the blood. The fourth one is gaseous exchange at lungs level. Tissue level. The fifth one is cellular respiration. Okay, there are totally 5 steps are involved in the respiration process. The first one is breathing process. The second one is gaseous exchange at lungs level. The third one is gas transport by the blood. The fourth one is gaseous exchange at tissue level. The fifth one is cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. So, we are discussing the first major step is breathing. Children, in your earlier classes, you somewhat know about the breathing process. Yes or not? Breathing is a process of inhalation and exhalation. Means inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide gas. Okay, breathing is a process that involves inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. And children, you also know that nose and lungs plays very important role during the breathing process. Okay. Not only that nose, lungs, the various other parts also involved in the breathing process. So, when we observe the pathway of a breathing process, we clearly understand about the which parts are involved in the breathing process. So, first one is nostrils, means mukku randralu. Second one is nasal cavity, nasika nalamu. Next one is pharynx. Next larynx. Next trachea or windpipe. Next bronchus. Next bronchioles. Next alveolus. Finally blood. So this is the pathway of the air. First the air will enter into our nostrils, then nasal cavity. First what? Nostrils. Then what, children? Nasal cavity. Then pharynx. Next larynx. Next trachea, bronchus. Next bronchioles. Next, alveolus. Finally, the air will enter into blood. Normally, the air will enter into nose through the nostrils. Next, the air will enter into the nasal cavity. You know that when the nasal cavity is lined with the mucous membrane. So, in the nasal cavity, the moistening of air taking place. Means nothing but during inhalation process, we inhale warmer air. But whenever the air passes through the nasal cavity, the wall of the nasal cavity is lined with mucous membrane. Because of this mucus, the air is moistened in the nasal cavity. And during inhalation process, we not only inhale the air but also some dust particles and unwanted substances. So, the mucous membrane that is present in the nasal cavity and the hair that grows side of the nasal cavity prevent the entry of these unwanted particles into our nose. Next, the air will enter into the pharynx region. From the pharynx region or pharynx part, two passages or channels are originating. One leads to the lungs, another one is leads to the our stomach. Means nothing but from pharynx part, we observe that the food pipe and the wind pipes are started. Here is a tricky problem. Sometimes we observe that our eating food enter into the windpipe and we feel difficulty in breathing and we feel discomfort. Yes or not? So, to prevent the entry of food materials into the windpipe, a valve-like structure is present in the pharynx region. Okay, a valve-like structure is present in the pharynx region. This valve-like structure is called as epiglottis. What? Epiglottis. In the pharynx region, a muscular valve-like structure is present that is called as epiglottis. This epiglottis prevents the entry of food particle into the windpipe. Okay, this is the advantage of the role of epiglottis in the pharynx. Next, the air will enter into the larynx region. So, you know that one, the larynx is called a sound box. While the air passes through the larynx, the sound is producing. Why? Because nothing but the larynx contains vocal cords, means Swaratantulu. When the air passes through these vocal cords, the vocal cords vibrates and produces sound. Next, the air will pass through the trachea. What? Trachea. Trachea is also called as a windpipe. The end part of the trachea is divided into two tree-like structures that are called as bronchus. What? Bronchus. Further, each bronchi is divided into small teeny structures called as bronchioles. Finally, these bronchioles are terminating with very smallest structures called as alveolus. In each lung, numerous alveolus are present. Means uncountable small air sacs are present. What is the use of this alveolus? Means the presence of alveoli in the lungs increases the surface area. Suppose we spread this all alveoli of each lung. It is equivalent to the tennis court. Nothing but the surface area is equal to 160 meter square area. Imagine how our lungs are big. You know that in our body 2 lungs are there. Yes or not? Yes. And the left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung. Why? Because nothing but due to the presence of heart on the left side of our body. Okay, children, we are discussing later class in the next upcoming video. Thank you, children.